Imagine two names that, even without music, are enough to silence a country, make servers explode, make global brands line up like interns. Not presidents, not kings, but two young men from South Korea whose names are already bigger than the industry they are in. Taehyung and Jungkook, V and JK, two icons of BTS's golden generation. But today, we're not talking about who's more handsome, who has more fans, or who smiles the most for the camera. The question is deeper, sharper, and far more sensitive. Who really controls the K-pop throne right now? In the world of K-pop, the throne is not just about views, Billboard rankings, or luxury brand deals. The throne is about power, the ability to change the direction of an industry, to influence companies, to move the masses without having to speak. And when we talk about that, Taehyung and Jungkook are not just two idols. They are two poles of power, two forces of gravity that are currently on a collision course. But before we go too far, we need to go back a bit, to a time when BTS was a unified whole, when they were inseparable, complementing each other, and the world watched as 7 young South Koreans rewrote the history of world music. Jungkook, the golden boy, the golden magne, the youngest, the most versatile. His vocals are powerful, his moves are precise, his face, well, you get the idea. But underneath it all, Jungkook is a machine, a force, a steady, almost unwavering source of power. He is the type of idol who is theoretically nearly perfect, consistent, professional, and marketable in any form. He is like an iPhone, elegant, efficient, and sellable everywhere. On the other side, there is Taehyung, V, a mysterious figure, full of nuance. If Jungkook is force, then Taehyung is atmosphere. He moves not with power, but with presence. His charisma comes not from perfection, but from unpredictability. A melancholic face, a deep voice, and a style that is always half on, half off the radar. Taehyung is not an iPhone. He is like a work of contemporary art. Not everyone understands it, but those who do fall in love. Enter the military service era. One by one, BTS members stepped back. The industry began to falter. HYBE, who had been living off BTS's success, began to maneuver. International additions, technological expansion, AI investment, the formation of new boy groups, all for one thing: to keep the throne theirs, even when BTS was inactive. But here's what's interesting. When the members left, the world began to see who among them really had their own staying power, who kept shining even when the stage lights were turned off. And that's when the differences began to become clear. Jungkook launched. Without much ado, he released 7, 3D, and Standing Next to You. Modern music, internationally ready dance pop, songs that targeted not just Korea, but the world. He played at a global level. Spotify, Billboard, iTunes, all were crushed. Jungkook became the K-pop soloist with the best digital achievements in history. But he didn't just release songs. He built a presence. Fashion campaigns. Secret collaborations. Even when he entered the military, Jungkook's name remained alive in the world's algorithms. Why? Because he knows how the industry works. He plays within the system, and he masters the system. Meanwhile, Taehyung chose a different path. Instead of chasing numbers, he chased feelings. His solo music is full of jazz, soul, and blues, genres that are not very marketable, but very V. He doesn't want to sell, he wants to convey. His songs are like poetry, his music videos are like short films. His fans? They don't just consume, they follow like a cult. And even though his streaming numbers are not as big as Jungkook's, his influence in the art and fashion world cannot be underestimated. From Celine to Cartier, from Paris Fashion Week to elite magazine photo shoots, Taehyung is a symbol. A symbol that K-pop can be elegant, mysterious, and doesn't have to follow the market. Now, we get to the serious question. Who really controls the throne? In theory, Jungkook is currently more dominant in the system. He has an international network, a hidden project that is said to be his own label, even gossip about an independent artist platform. He is not just back as a singer, he is back as an industry actor. Like Steve Jobs at Apple, he doesn't just show up, he designs games. Some insiders even said that after Jungkook returned from the military, HYB's internal structure slowly changed. Other projects were slowed down, budgets were cut, and important teams were moved into orbits related to JK's name. That's not a fan theory. That's real corporate dynamics. But don't underestimate Taehyung. His power doesn't come from the system, but from symbolic power. His every move is a statement. Every IG post, photo shoot, or public appearance creates waves in the media. Taehyung is not a player in the system. He is its alternative. If Jungkook is technology, then Taehyung is cultural capital. And in the long run, this kind of power can outlast algorithms. What makes this interesting is that these two forces aren't tearing each other down. They're like two rivers flowing toward the same ocean, but taking different paths. But make no mistake, in the entertainment industry, two great currents rarely coexist for long without colliding. Either one takes the lead, or the system breaks down to make room for both. And right now, we're witnessing the beginning of that tension. So, who really controls the K-pop throne right now? The answer depends on what you consider the throne. If you're talking market dominance, technology, and global economic power, then it's probably Jungkook. But if you're talking cultural influence, aesthetic direction, and redefining what it means to be a celebrity, then it's probably Taehyung. What's clear is that these two have gone beyond the status of idols. They are major forces in the history of modern K-pop. And like all great stories, this clash of forces is not the end. It's the beginning of a new era. Because what's happening now isn't just a silent battle between two figures. It's a much more complex dynamic, because these two aren't just idols. They're symbols of two different ideologies in modern K-pop. And interestingly, the public, yes, all of us, has a hand in determining who will continue to rise and who will slow down. After these two entered the military, things didn't calm down. They heated up. Not because they showed up, but because their shadows were too big to be forgotten. In online communities, fans were divided. Behind the scenes, companies began positioning comeback strategies based on the momentum they would gain from these two names. Even the new boy groups their agencies formed, whether they realized it or not, were still being compared to Jungkook and Taehyung, which means the throne isn't just about what's been achieved, but about the shadow that still hangs over the industry even when they're not active. And that's where their true power lies. When a celebrity can stay relevant without activity, without promotion, without even a voice, it means they've gone beyond the level of ordinary fame. They've become a cultural symbol. And that's much harder to achieve than just trending at #1. So, how does the world respond to this? The world, especially the Western media, is very clearly treating Jungkook as a pop star. They're placing him in a global context, on par with The Weeknd, Dua Lipa, even Justin Bieber. That's not just a compliment. It's a recognition that Jungkook is playing on a global stage, not just in Asia. His appearance on Global Citizen, his solo debut that was immediately translated into dozens of media languages, were no coincidences. They were signs that he was shifting the center of gravity of the global music industry, bit by bit, toward Korea with him as its anchor. But the art and fashion worlds were different. They saw Taehyung as an icon of a new generation, experimental, unpredictable, and with an aura that couldn't be faked. He attended private galas, appeared in photo shoots with a cinematic vibe, and entered the discourse of fine art and luxury lifestyle. Not every singer can fit into this world. Taehyung is not selling music, he is selling experience, aesthetics, even value. And as we know, value cannot be measured by views or streaming. But value can move the direction of trends in the long term. And if you look at it that way, Taehyung is not competing with Jungkook. He is forming his own ecosystem. At a time when many idols are looking for the spotlight, both of them are shining brightly, albeit in silence. And this has made many industry analysts start to question, will the future of K-pop be controlled by idols who follow the system, or those who form a new system? We are not watching two people compete. We are seeing two visions of the future clashing.